So, if you're one of the 3 people that follow me on Instagram and happen to know that I make videos, then you'll notice that I have a new series that I'm currently binging. That's right, I decided to go against my sense of self-preservation, and now I'm starting to watch Sailor Moon. Hello, my fellow boneheads, I'm Jay Skeleton, and today I'm reviewing Sailor Moon, the DiC Entertainment dub. Sailor Moon. What can I say about it? No, really, what can I say? To be completely honest, I never really watched the show until recently. In fact, I'm not that really much of an anime watcher in general, the only exceptions being ones connected to video games like Pokemon and Kirby Right Back At Ya. It wasn't until my sister tied me down and pretty much forced me to watch the entirety of Inuyasha that I really decided to look at anime in a different light. So after watching the entirety of Inuyasha and really enjoying it, perhaps I'll talk about it another day, I decided to find another English dub of a 90s anime for myself to binge. I say 90s anime because I really personally love the aesthetic of them, and there's a certain charm to them that modern anime will just never recapture in my eyes, but that's a discussion for another day. Maybe. So I might as well do one of the big ones. We're going to be looking at the first episode and see how it is as an introduction to this whole series. And before anyone asks, yes, since I'm doing the DiC dub, I will be referring to the characters by their English names. I think I'm a heathen now. So without any further ado, this is Sailor Moon Episode 1, A Moon Star is Born. So we start off with my favorite part of every episode, the kick-ass intro. Like me, even if you haven't seen an episode of the show, you probably still know this intro, and how couldn't you? Not only is it iconic, it is epic and catchy as hell. Never running from a real fight, she is the one named Sailor Moon. Even if the visuals don't exactly always match the tone of the intro, but who really cares about that? Because I know I don't. I'm too busy listening to that epic instrumental break. Though I don't really remember this part of the intro. Must have the special edition. Joking aside, this intro really is great. What else can I say but it's the Sailor Moon intro. Our story begins with some narration explaining to us about a perfect society on the moon, ruled by a queen known as Queen Serenity. But then, in an unforeseen turn of events, a bad person showed up trying to ruin everything. Enter Queen Barrel. No, Barrel. She plays the role of our series villain and has unleashed the powers of the awesome power of the Negaforce to, as one would guess, take over the universe. So unfortunately, the civilization gets totally destroyed. You'd think astronauts would notice an ancient civilization ruins on the moon. But fortunately, Queen Serenity manages to get all our main protagonists and the series MacGuffin off just in time. And of course, sends them all to Earth. We cut to many years later where we see our main character, a 14-year-old girl named Serena, who is currently, let's see here, this is the 90s, so let me guess, running late for school?
Oh no, I'm late for school again!
Bingo! Where do I get my free milkshake?
Mother! Why didn't you wake me up in time for the first bell?
I did, Serena, darling, 3 times, and each time you said you were getting up right away.
And you believe me?
Say what you want about this dub, but you gotta admit, due to the fact that DiC pretty much rewrote almost every line, you gotta admit, they at least wrote good lines. Plus, the voice acting is very good. Anyways, on her way to school, Serena ends up seeing a few kids picking on a cat. Scram, you rotten little cavities, before I throw you in the mud. After learning that the cat has a crescent moon on its head and hearing its inner monologue, Serena realizes she's very late and quickly rushes off to school. When she gets to school, she's chastised by her teacher for being as dumb as a doorknob and vents her troubles to her friend Molly about having to show this grade to her mom. We also meet this raunchy fellow named Melvin. No, Melvin. And while his voice is kinda normal to listen to, Molly's voice
She doesn't need a tutors, she needs a trip to the mall to get her mind off this.
is the best and worst thing ever. I don't know who thought it would be a good idea to give her a Boston accent, a heavy Boston accent, but that person needs both the Nobel Prize and to be thrown in prison for the rest of their lives. Or is it a Brooklyn accent? I can never really tell. Anyways, they decide to go off to the mall, and while that's happening, we finally see Queen Beryl again, who I guess was just doing nothing throughout those last, many years, instead of just trying to find and destroy the people that could stop her. Basically, in order for her to attack Earth, she needs a lot of energy from it. So she calls her henchman Jedi, don't worry, I won't make a Star Wars joke. Wait, doesn't this count? Damn it! To sap the energy out of humans. And this is where we get our Monster of the Week formula, as every episode pretty much has Jedi coming up with a new plan to get the energy out of humans, which involves using a monster that usually connects to the episode's theme. And to paraphrase how all these meetings between Queen Beryl and Jedi go, it's a little something like this. Okay, Jedi, tell me your plan for world domination. Gladly, my master. You see, I'm going to come up with a convoluted scheme that anyone with half a brain could easily tell is a trap to trick the humans. Wait, what? Then, I'm going to leave some random monster in charge of it and not fully see through the plan myself. Okay, I'm not following your logic. And if someone confronts the monster, they'll expose themselves and reveal the whole plan. This sounds like a stupid idea. Don't worry, Master. My all-powerful monster's only weakness are magical teenage girls in miniskirts. Why haven't I fired you yet? Because I'm so handsome. I swear to God, I will kill you. What? What? Meanwhile, at the mall, Serena and Molly see that Molly's mother is obviously not possessed by a monster, practically giving away all the jewelry she sells at her store in what's obviously not a trap that's set up obviously not by Jedi. Obviously. After getting pushed out the store by the Black Friday rush, Serena makes her way back home and has a run-in with a mysterious man named Darian, who gives off, hands down, the best roast ever.
Are you stupid or just incredibly lazy?
Gustav. And for the Italian selection?
Watch it, meatball head!
Wonderful. After forecasting these two's future relationship with each other about as subtly as our main character being the title character,
He sure is cute.
Serena heads home to reluctantly show her mother her horrible grades. Mother, what are you doing with that spatula? Well, sweetie, it's simple. If you got good grades, I'll reward you with your favorite meal. If you didn't, well, you can use your imagination. So Serena reluctantly and adorably hands her mother her test paper, and her mom reacts accordingly.
30? You said you studied! Go back to the library to study for a makeup test!
Now here is the only time I'll actually bring up the original, because in the DiC version, they for some reason cut out the introduction of Serena's younger brother, Sammy. I have no idea why they did this, and it just makes it weird later on in episode 3 when he just randomly appears out of nowhere. I can only bet that the people back then were probably like, wait, she has a brother? I could have sworn they were making it so that she was an only child. It's just baffling that they did this, and it's sad because it could have made what is a good scene a great scene. Oh well. Anyways, back at the mall, we see that everyone who bought jewelry from the store are mysteriously losing energy. Even worse, we find out that Molly's mother is a pencil neck. Well, I'm sure that problem will sort itself out. Anyways, back with Serena. She's now lying in bed after being finally let back inside her house. But it seems that the cat from earlier had followed her here. Oh, and it can also talk. No biggie. The cat reveals that her name is Luna, and reveals that Serena is Sailor Moon, and gives her a magical locket. And Serena takes being told that she's a magical warrior from a talking cat surprisingly well. I guess talking cats are just an everyday occurrence for her. Now cue that iconic transformation sequence. Now that Serena has finally transformed into Sailor Moon, I'm going to assume what she says about her outfit in the DiC dub is what she says in the original, as so I don't end up going to hell. She hears Molly's cries for help and immediately springs into action. Once she gets to the mall, she fights the monster and is of course really bad at it. But we do learn that some of her powers are tied to her emotions. Ooh, I get the 2-for-1 deal for Steven Universe references on this video. But then, Tuxedo Ex Machina. Yes, we are now introduced to the mysterious Tuxedo Mask, whom is a character we've never seen before. Seriously, that disguise is about as obvious as Mr. L or anything Team Rocket did. Anyways, Tuxedo Mask pretty much just says, "Hey Sailor Moon, how about you try winning?" "But how am I supposed to win against this thing?" "Trust me, this thing's a pushover. It should go down in one hit."
He's right. Compared to what you fight later on, I'm like a Goomba.
"See? What she said. Now kill it."
Okay. Wait, I shouldn't have said that.
You are dead!
So Jedi's plan fails, and he somehow loses all the energy that he got from the victims. Guess he should have put a cap on that thing. And the day is saved. My job here is done.
But you didn't do anything.
So Serena has a new crush, all the victims recover, and Serena now lives a Hannah Montana-esque double life with a talking cat. End of episode 1.
Good night.
And then we get the other best part of every episode. Yes, I am referring, of course, to the Sailor Says. My guess is that it was a requirement by law for every kids show in the 90s to have a PSA at the ending of every episode. And since this was marketed as a kids show, it has them. For Sailor Moon, these range from, I guess that makes sense, to how is that supposed to be the takeaway? The message for this one is just a simple believe in yourself. So, I think it's okay. And that's the first episode of Sailor Moon. It was insane. I loved it. Honestly, disregarding all the flaws and some of the changes made for the dub, I really enjoyed this. In my opinion, the animation is nice, the story, well, bit crazy, is still easy to follow, and the jokes are all good in my eyes. I say Sailor Moon is worth all the praise and popularity it gets. And I say it's a good starting anime for anyone who's new. But overall, I really like this, especially this dub. Maybe one day I'll do a comparison of the Viz dub and this one over which one is better and which one I like more. Spoiler alert for the latter. I like this one more. But that's a story for another day. Anyways, I'm your average Bonehead Jay, and I wish you all good night.